This is by far the most important project of the year. As your final, it's going to end up taking up a significant portion of your grade.
What if we time travel?
So, how bad is it?
What is this? It looks like my child drew.
An F. A goddamn F. You think I deserve that? You think we deserve that, Miller? But no, we've done it. We've done it. Yes. We'll show that son of a...
Finally, after 60 years, a time machine.
It's really hot here. Take off my clothes.
Indeed it is, sir. Dearest me, boy, where are we?
We're in 1914. Look around. Crazy.
It's whack.
Ladies first.
Oh, I didn't know we had a gentleman on our hands. Dear Lord.
My God, Miles, is that a painting?
It's so conveniently placed on the ground and has so many lines on it.
Is that a work of futurism by Joseph Stella? Great googly moogly. Is that Joseph Stella, the famous futurist artist from the early 20th century?
Indeed it is.
Who in God's green earth are you, dear sir? And futurism? What is that?
Well, I'm glad you asked, good man. Futurism began in France and Italy in 1909 with the publication of F.T. Marinetti's Foundation and the Manifesto of Futurism. The book explains a philosophy that rejects the past and embraces the speed, machinery, violence, youth, and industry of the future.
Miller, shalt we depart, dear friend?
And that piece in your hand, my dear friend, that is Coney Island Mardi Gras. The painting really encapsulates the ongoing Cubist movement throughout the many geometric shapes. The futurist movement of the 1910s is a direct response to the inventions and social turmoil of the time. In 1886, cars were invented in Germany. Planes were invented in 1903 in America. Along with this, the present unease in America was a result of the Gilded Age. The worship of technology and progress was well created during this time, as well as a warning about poverty and war. This philosophy bred a clear undercurrent of fascists.
I think we should leave. I think you are right, dear friend. Let me just turn around.
Get up.
My God, it's a library.
That's really cool, Miller.
Yeah, it is, Miles.
Why, hello, suburbians. It is I, famous author Ray Bradbury. Are you guys from the future?
Why, yes, we are.
I know all, my dear boy.
Now that we have you, can we ask some questions?
Why, of course, anything.
Societal factors led you to write science fiction.
Well, the 1950s were a period of great economic prosperity where consumerism reigned supreme. If you've got a problem, you can buy a solution. Many of my fellow authors began to imagine the result of this. Later, in the 1960s, where we are now, we've got The Space Race. A fantastic example of the culmination of cultural hopes into media is one of my favorite shows, William Hanna and Joseph Barbera's 1962 cartoon, The Jetsons.
I love that one.
The Jetsons are a traditional nuclear family that live in a town in space. everyone in the family uses their specialized gadgets to do tasks that us today find irritating. Along with that, the Jetsons own a robot maid who does the housework so that Mrs. Jetson can tend to other things like shopping.
So essentially, what you're saying is that while the world is incredibly advanced, the family structure and gender roles stay the same?
Exactly.
Oh, what do you have to do with this movement?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Some authors similar to myself had more negative things to say about the future. In the 50s and 60s, the political tensions were high. The Cold War was at its peak in the 50s, spurring McCarthyism, a political movement to oust communists in the government and in the media. Along with that, many liberation movements took place, including the civil rights and feminism movement. This political climate exposed corruption within the government. In my 1953 novel, Fahrenheit 451, I criticize censorship and authoritarian governments. The story follows a so-called fireman whose job is to burn books. This is a direct allusion to the Nazis censoring literature from Jewish people and the political opposition.
Wow, Mr. Bradbury, that's very interesting.
It's very insightful, I agree. I have to use the bathroom.
I think we should hit the road.
I have to pee. Is this the set of his 1984 movie, Terminator?
Why, yes, it must be, because that is the famous actress Linda Hamilton from the franchise that is Terminator.
Indeed it is.
Yes, it is. And did you say franchise? We're only working on the first movie.
Well, we are here from the future, and we want to understand your role in the 1984 film Terminator. Please tell us about it.
That's well. I do love to talk about myself. Currently today, in the 80s, there are many issues plaguing our world, including the environmental crisis, war over oil, the Cold War, war on drugs, and everyone wants nothing to do besides escape into a fantasy world.
Fascinating!
Along with that, technology is developing at an increasingly rapid rate. With the release of personal computers and mobile phones becoming mainstream, many movies coming out now serve as examples of people's perspectives on technology and societal issues. On the surface, my movie Terminator is a film about a soldier traveling back in time to protect a woman from a cyborg assassin from the post-apocalyptic future.
Indeed it is.
In this case, however, the Terminator himself represents how easily technology can fall out of our hands and into their own control, thus providing a warning about the development of current technology, as well as further development, as well as weapons and artificial intelligence.
Wow, that was very insightful. Allow us to make leave, Mr. Shetland.
Let's.
Seems as if my face is now freshly shaved.
Great googly moogly, this is our old high school.
Indeed it is. Wow. Now, I finally know the answer to our thesis. How does the portrayal of the future in the media represent cultural hopes and fears? I can now die happy.
No!
Oh no.
No! Great googly moogly, you're dying! Before you die, can you please tell us more about our conclusion?
I guess. Our perception of the future is ever-changing and will continue to impact our society for the rest of time. I proceed to die.
No, you can't die!
I apologize. Allow me to continue, dear friend. American culture is not only formed around current events and movements, but also how we perceive the future, whether that be in hundreds upon hundreds of years or merely in a couple days.
sad.